Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello, everyone. I'm Karis. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is our astrology cosmic superpower for Sunday, May 7th through Saturday, May 13th, 2023. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. Sunday, May 7th, we are starting off the week on the Sun's Day with Venus changing signs. Venus is entering the sign of cardinal water Cancer. Now, Venus in Cancer, being a cardinal sign, wants to get something started. All of the cardinal signs of the zodiac, they lead, they initiate a new season, a new time in our life. The cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. And with Venus, which is the love goddess, she's attraction and beauty and marriage and love. Also, Venus is the planet that has to do with the enjoyment of life, having fun, things that please you. Venus entering Cancer, and she's so beautiful right now. I don't know if you've been noticing her in the night sky, but it's just spectacular to see. Besides the two luminaries, the sun and the moon, Venus is the brightest light that we see. She's our sister planet. She's referred to as the Queen of Heaven, and she is just so beautiful right now, shining brightly. Venus entering the sign of Cancer is the energy of wanting a new relationship or to renew something in the marriage and relationship that you already may be in. Venus in Cancer is caring. Cancer is a water sign. It rules over home, family, fertility. That's another bonus with this Venus going into the sign of Cancer. If you've been wanting more children, if you want to add to the family, then Venus in Cancer is quite fertile as a water sign, and as it rules over home, family, children, our pets that we bring into the home as members of the family. Venus is all about pleasing. And when Venus is in Cancer, because Cancer cares so much and wants a deep emotional connection, then Venus in Cancer is wonderful in the sense of all the little things that please, all of those small touches that mean so much. So for you wanting to please, for you wanting to be pleased, this is Venus in Cancer. It's wonderful, such a great feeling when someone cares enough that they're attentive to what you truly like, what really pleases us. And this is Venus in Cancer. Venus in Cancer is also very sentimental in the sense of that feeling of your first crush, your first love, and how magical and innocent that was. Cancer rules over the memories, the past, things that feel familiar to you, that make you feel safe, secure, comforted. So with Venus in Cancer, with Venus being the planet of beauty and clothes and decorating and all of the things that make a space and make you feel beautiful. This Venus in Cancer can be redecorating your home. It's springtime, clearing out things that you want to release at this time. It's difficult to clear away the clutter because every piece that we have represents a memory. It has a memory attached to it. And this can be why it's difficult for people or some people to let go of things and clear out the clutter, but opening up that space with Venus in Cancer so that you can bring things in that make you feel really good. This is also the Venus in Cancer, but to initiate, to start, to get something going in the area of love, relationship, this is the cardinal water sign of Cancer. That energy of you want to get something started where you feel close emotional bonds, family, friends, the familiar around you, and the happy memories, the magical memories from the past, like the first crush we had or something like that. But this is how we are starting off the Sun's Day, May 7th. Also on May 7th, we have the moon in Jupiter ruled Sagittarius, making a fire trine flow to Chiron in Aries. Chiron is the wounded healer. And in Aries, this moon making that fire trine flow to Chiron in Aries is very exciting in the sense of wanting a whole new you, a whole new look and identity and image. So this play of fire and water, Venus in Cancer, and then the moon trine Chiron in fire elements. This is stormy, it's passion, it's smoldering heat. So this is really supportive of getting that feeling of a new sense of yourself and your attractiveness. Monday, May 8th, we start off the day with the moon still in Sagittarius, making a fire trine flow to its ruler now, Jupiter in Aries. So the moon is what we're really hungry for. It's a great desire. We want to acquire something. And the moon in Sagittarius making that trine to Jupiter, which is big, over the top, doesn't recognize limits. Jupiter is still in Aries, hasn't changed signs yet, but this moon trine Jupiter is a huge, over the top appetite for something new and exciting, especially in the area of travel. Jupiter, Sagittarius, there's always a connection there to the 9th house in astrology. And so that desire to travel, to perhaps go back to a class, a workshop that gives you a higher philosophical point of view. The 9th house is philosophy and the big picture of it all. So this desire here with the moon in Sag trine Jupiter in Aries is very trailblazing. It wants something brand new and something that brings in a higher level of the expansion of the mind and philosophy and just going and exploring and discovering. This is a lot of Sagittarius and Jupiter, that sense of I've got to go and do something new that helps to expand and stimulate the spirit and the mind. Later on in the afternoon, the moon enters Capricorn. Now, when the moon goes into Capricorn, the moon is in exile. It's the furthest away from its natural home placement, which is the moon at home in Cancer. The moon in Capricorn, when that happens, getting in touch with what you truly need and feel. The moon in Capricorn can be so responsible and always working and carrying the weight of the world on its shoulders. And so ambitious, moon in Capricorn, wanting to achieve success, that the moon in Capricorn making an opposition on Monday the 8th to Venus now in Cancer. The moon opposition Venus in Cancer. This is the parental axis. Capricorn the father, Cancer the nurturing mother. But this is an opposition aspect that we're looking at here. The moon in Capricorn making the opposition to Venus in Cancer is the separation of how you can be so tough on yourself all of the time. That's the moon in Capricorn. And getting in touch with what really makes you feel good, what you need. A lot of times the moon in Capricorn can say, what, I have needs? Because the socialization and the conditioning is to just do the work and achieve. So get into that feeling of, and you feel it in your stomach, the moon rules over the stomach. Get into the feeling of abundance. Make sure your kitchen is overstocked with food. It gives the feeling of there's more than enough, and there is. And then that moon, again, making the opposition to Venus in Cancer is, what do you truly want in love as far as how you would like to be pleased. That thought rarely, if ever, tends to come to a moon in Capricorn, because moon in Capricorn, remember, banished from the kingdom, the furthest away from what do I need and want, what makes me happy, what pleases me. So Monday, the moon's day, is actually a wonderful day to explore those kinds of feelings and awarenesses. Tuesday, May 9th, we have the Sun in Taurus making a conjunction to the planet Uranus in Taurus. Now, Sun conjunct Uranus. This can be a huge ego power play disruption, although it doesn't have to be. This is why we want to know what the cosmic energies are as a way of guidance. Now, Taurus is a money sign, and Mercury is still in Taurus retrograde. The Sun conjunct Uranus, which is disruptive. It's a divorce aspect. The Sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus. This is not the day to, for instance, sit down with your lawyers and talk about divorce proceedings and how the money will be given out. Alimony, child support, that kind of thing. It's a day of being very much aware of what's happening in your financial situation. It's not the day to sign on the dotted line as far as a big contract, buying a big ticket item. The Sun in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus can be a sudden and abrupt loss of finances or separation from a money situation. It can also potentially be a very dramatic argument, discussion that turns into a battle about finances. So Tuesday is not the day to sit down and finalize this kind of discussion and or negotiation when it comes to Taurus money, which represents safety, secure money. Let's say you've had it with a job and you're ready to walk. Try to hang in there a little bit longer, at least until Mercury goes direct on the 14th. Wait till the conditions are more supportive to do certain things in the area of your finances. Wednesday, May 10th, the energy intensifies because on Wednesday, May 10th, we are starting off the day with the moon still in Capricorn, making and applying square to Jupiter in Aries. Now, the square aspect is an aspect of irritation. It's an aspect of, I've got to get it done right now. No, you don't have to get it done right now. The thing, though, is with the moon in Capricorn, which needs to be more in touch with what they want and how they feel, making that square aspect to pushy Jupiter in Aries. Now, Jupiter in Aries, the sign of Aries, can sell and promote anything, any product to the hilt. So that pushy Jupiter in Aries saying, no, it has to be now. It has to be yesterday. We're looking at fire, Aries, which can be quite selfish at times. I've got to have it now. I've got to make the deal now. Be very mindful and feel into your body about a situation that can get blown way over the top. If someone, something, or even if it's your own impatience is pushing you to do something, to spend on something that you don't want to do. This is the moon in Capricorn making that square to Jupiter in Aries. Capricorn is tradition. It's the past. Aries is the newborn baby. It has to be brand new. It has to be now. It has to be yesterday. So if you're in this conflict over, you're tired of something that you've had for a while, or represents the old. This is a Capricorn, and you got to have brand new right now. Hold that thought, but don't take action. Later on Wednesday the 10th, the moon enters fixed air Aquarius. Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn, but it's air, it's lighter. Aquarius is about movement and freedom in the future. How can we build for the future? The moon in Aquarius makes a conjunction to Pluto in Aquarius. Now, Pluto is big bucks. When we're talking huge money, that has a lot to do with the planet Pluto. The moon in Aquarius making a conjunction to Pluto in Aquarius is wanting to build a financial empire and how you will go about creating masses of money, if that is your goal. But this is the moon in Aquarius conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. Now, the moon conjunct Pluto in Aquarius, and the moon is always what we want to acquire. When it conjuncts Pluto, which represents high finances in Aquarius, this is the groups and friendships. We've all heard the old saying, birds of a feather flock together. So Pluto is death. It's letting go of something. And the moon in Aquarius really cares and needs their friends, groups, people. Aquarius is a people friendship sign. But the moon conjunct Pluto in Aquarius is saying, well, you got to take a look here and really go deep and intense as to what groups, what friends, what people in your life are blocking you, holding you back, or not in resonance any longer with how you want to move into the future financially. Thursday, May 11th, we still have the moon in Aquarius. Now the moon in Aquarius is making a square aspect to Mercury in Taurus. Mercury is still retrograde. Is that the time? Is that the cosmic superpower to say, well, we need to have a talk about how we need to say goodbye? No, it's a square aspect. And Mercury in Taurus is not going to budge. We're looking at fixed signs of the zodiac. Aquarius is also fixed air, a fixed sign. And that can be a mindset and attitude that is fixed, doesn't want to change. Mercury retrograde in Taurus, it's just not going to change. It's not the right day. You can plan, you can strategize, you can work out the different things and goals you would like to do for better financial prosperity. But the conversation, the cosmic power is not supportive of this kind of a conversation. It's planning and strategy, which is always good. But it's not the day for the big, important conversation. Friday, May 12th, Venus's day. We are going into the weekend with some lovely aspects. Now, on Friday, May 12th, we have the fourth quarter moon at 21 degrees Aquarius. 21 degrees Aquarius brings in the decanate that has a Libra influence and component. Now, Aquarius and Libra, they can just talk and talk and talk, get air signs together, and we just keep going with the conversation and the chit-chat. Now, the fourth quarter moon at 21 degrees Aquarius, this is when we cross over into the cycle of fourth quarter to new moon. Fourth quarter to new moon is the releasing, the letting go of things we've built up, that it's now time to say goodbye in preparation for the new moon action. In other words, if you're getting ready to run the race, run the marathon at the time of the new moon, which is the time of taking action before we get to that new moon, letting go of things that weigh us down, all of the baggage and all of the packages. That's fourth quarter to new moon. What's the weight that is keeping you from being in top form to be off and running at the starting line with the new moon? This again brings in the influence of certain people, relationships. Also, because it's Aquarius, that always brings in groups that you're associated with. With the fourth quarter moon, the moon in Aquarius makes a square to Uranus in Taurus. This can be shocking endings with people in groups that we thought, oh, it would always be this way. Then the moon in Aquarius, of course, with the fourth quarter moon, is the moon in Aquarius square the sun in Taurus. That again is that action, that 90-degree angle that says, yes, we have to get going at this time with the saying goodbye to certain groups and people. We're preparing for the new moon. Mercury, still retrograde in Taurus, makes a sextile aspect to Venus now in Cancer. So even though Mercury is still retrograde in Taurus, the Mercury in Taurus sextile Venus in Cancer is one of the best things about a Mercury retrograde. When we go back and we relook and take stock a second, third time, the redoing or wanting to go over how we communicate with love in relationships. Mercury in Taurus making that sextile to Venus now in Cancer. One of the needs of this Venus entering Cancer is the need for how we speak to each other. Mercury is sound vibration, and Taurus rules over the throat. Some of the best singers of all time have Mercury in Taurus. Now the Venus, having recently entered Cancer, is saying, I want a deeper, closer connection in love and in relationships. And if we don't speak lovingly to each other, which happens to be one of the top #1 complaints I hear about as an astrologer, especially from my male clients, which they will say, the way she talks to me, the way my wife speaks to me. Sound vibration is every bit as real and tangible as physical things. So that Mercury retrograde in Taurus making the sextile to Venus in Cancer is, how do we speak in relationships to each other, whether it's love, friendship, family. A lot of times, and I hear this as well all the time, certain appropriate boundaries come down in families because the people are close, where the yelling and the screaming and speaking to each other in such a way that we would probably never do with strangers. That's not okay because you're close to somebody. That's when the communication should be extra respectful. Then later on in the afternoon, the moon in Aquarius makes a really exciting sextile to Jupiter in Aries. So that interplay of air and fire, and the moon wanting something, and Jupiter wanting it all. This can be very lively and has a lot of punch, this aspect, in a good way. Punch meaning zest. To want something new and to go after it. Jupiter in Aries says, yes, let's go for it. In the evening, the moon enters mutable water Pisces, and then we are in the weekend of fantastic water trine flows. The moon in Pisces makes a beautiful water trine flow to Venus in Cancer. Venus in Cancer makes a water trine flow to Saturn in Pisces. The moon in Pisces makes a sextile to Uranus in Taurus. The moon in Pisces makes a conjunction to Saturn in Pisces. And this carries through the weekend. But to have all of this water and water trine flows and conjunctions, especially the moon in Pisces making that conjunction to Saturn in Pisces, this is being in touch with what it is that you truly want. Moon in Pisces, your dream, your vision, your imagination, what's going to make you feel really great. And the conjunction to Saturn in Pisces is saying you can structure that, you can have that, but Saturn is real. Saturn is the realist that says this is the work it's going to take. And with Saturn in Pisces, these are the addictions that you have to get rid of at this time to make that vision and dream come true. What I love about all of this water and the water trines is that water is energy. It's the emotional energy strength that backs up in a very powerful way what you want and how to make your dream come true. But we have to have Saturn in the mix. Saturn in the mix is saying, yes, you can build the success and dream that you want, but you have to be willing to do what it's really going to take in the physical structure of the world. I've been saying since Saturn has entered Pisces that Saturn in Pisces is like Darth Vader, that Saturn just showed up to the party and said, kids, the party is over. Because if we don't deal with our addictions, and there are many other addictions besides the obvious drugs and alcohol, if we're addicted to avoidance, procrastination, if we're addicted to dreaming about the dream but never doing anything about it. This is the Saturn in Pisces, with the moon in Pisces conjunct Saturn in Pisces, saying, dream your dream, make your dreams come true, reach for the stars and then some. But take a really good, realistic Saturn look at what it's going to take to get there, which means whatever we do as an escape addiction, that has to be dealt with. But the water trine flows over the weekend really give that flow where your imagination can just be in overdrive, thinking, dreaming. You know, when you're wool gathering and you're all up in your head creating the new things that you want to create before it hits the physical. I love this. And this is how we close out the week before Mercury stations direct on Sunday the 14th. I'll get to that next week. But this is our cosmic superpower for the week. And the overall, let's say, theme or thread is how with the fourth quarter moon, we are in that cycle of we've got to let go of certain things, really pay attention to what's happening with your finances. And then that new flow of energy and emotion in preparation of starting the new race at the time at the new moon coming up. So letting go of all the baggage, in other words, lightening things up so you're ready to be off and running at the starting line with the new moon. Thank you, everyone. I will see you all in the stars. Have a fabulous week, and it can be very productive. Make the most of it and enjoy the week, everyone. Thank you.